Okay, let's go, guys. So now this is the second video, second part of this oops classes, and let's say certain things I have to make you guys understand. Suppose if I'm saying else equal to list list, that's how we are creating an empty list, and I'm saying tuple one equal to tuple tuple equal to tuple, right? Now if I do something like this, I'm saying print type of ls, right? Then I'm doing print type of tab, right? The output you are getting here is list class tuple class. Means the Python who had created the Python, they have also created a class of lists. Means whatever the operations that you are performing on the list, what are the different operations you are performing on the list? Finding the maximum, finding the minimum, right? Count, append, extend, clear, and different other things. That means all those operations that belongs to the listers, they have created one class for it. Means they have categorized all the things related to the list in a one class, right? Here, this for this tuple, they have created a one class for a tuple. They have created one class for a tuple. Like we can't perform the insert operation on a tuple. That means they will not keep the insert operation in a tuple. Like we are saying, humans don't have tail, so we will not keep the tail in the human class, correct? We'll keep the tape in the animal class. Same thing here. We can't have, we will have the insert in the list class, but we can't have the insert in the tuple class, right? That means they have created one separate class for the tuple. So if you have a doubt, let's say I am saying here, let's say I am saying here something like this. I am saying here class, I will create one class, right? And here is, I will say alpha, yeah, let's say test. And here I'm saying pass. As of now, I'm not keeping anything here. Let me create an object. Let's say object is alpha belongs to the test class. Now you know what we are creating here. We are creating the object of a class. Now alpha belongs to this test class, right? Now if I will do print type of alpha, now check the output. I guess you will get the same output like class this, right? What you're saying? Class list tuple test. Means again we are saying this alpha belongs to a class. This tuple belongs to a class. Type of type of list belongs to a type of class, right? So what is the main here? What is the main here? Since they have been divided by those who have created the Python, this is being created by us, right? Can you relate? Someone has told the interpreter that this class is something. You have to make understand to the interpreter that okay, if there is something like this, it is a class, right? That means someone has wrote a code for this CLASS class. Like you are having the print here. Someone has wrote the code for this print statement, right? Then it understands now, okay, we have to use the console, we have to print something on the console, right? Same thing is here. Someone has wrote something for this class, and that is the main, that is becoming the main, right? Under that main, we are creating one class, that is a test class, right? Under that main class, we are creating a test class. That's why we are getting here underscore main dot test. Getting this point? That means this is also a class. One more thing you can relate. We are saying alpha equal to, here we are saying ls equal to, then is a list bracket. Here we are saying test bracket, right? Here also we are creating the object. Here also we are creating the object of a list. JECT, object of a list. Here we are creating the object of tuple, right? And here what we are creating? Object of test, right? It is the same thing, right? Now you will say, sir, okay, there is this is also possible, ls bracket, ls equal to bracket. Python community has make the code for this. They are saying when there is something like this, okay, understand it. It is a class. Getting this point? Same with the tuple as well. Getting this point? Don't get confused here. I didn't use this because I don't want to create here any confusion. I want to relate you guys this thing with this thing. Getting this point? Previously, I told you if we are having here def, or let me here def. Let's say I'm saying def ABC. Uh, def ABC ABX, okay, and here I'm saying self, then I will say pass. uh, okay, now I will create one more function def xyz, and again I will say pass. Right, again I will say pass here. Okay, now if I will do here alpha dot, now the option that you will get here is abx xyz. abx xyz means whatever is present here inside this test class, those methods that you are having here, those options you will come here, right? Same thing happen with the list class. If I will do ls dot, now these are the methods like insert, this thing, remove, count, pop, copy, append, clear. These are the methods that they have defined inside the list class. In a VS Code, if you will do list dot count and you will uh, you will enter the you will hit the control button. You will hit the control button. Here the document will open. In that document, if you will see, there will be the return the class. Whatever is related to the list, that thing will pop up here. One document file will open and you can analyze it's a class, right? Getting this thing? This is clear, right? Okay, now we have to understand one more thing, that is a constructor. So what is a constructor? Let me remove these things, and let me remove this thing as well, these things as well, as of now. Okay, now let's say I'll say def underscore underscore init underscore underscore, and here I'm keeping self, and let's say here I'm saying something this print my name, right? And here we are creating the object of a class. See here, if I have to access this underscore underscore init, I told you what we have to do. If I have to access anything here, we have to do alpha dot, right? See, I'm not doing alpha dot right now. I'm not doing alpha dot right now. I'm just creating the object of a class, and let me run it this thing. See the output what you are getting. Okay, one mistake is here. In it is underscore underscore in it. Let me run it. See here, the output you are getting is my name. Automatically you are getting my name, but we have not called this function. We have not called here alpha dot underscore underscore init. We just created the object class, and you get the output as my name because my name is present here. Means this method is being automatically called, right? And this underscore underscore method is called the constructor, right? This method is called the constructor, and this constructor is being automatically called, right? So whenever we are using the basic example, if one example I have to give you about the constructor, it is like that. If you want if your website, if you are visiting one website, and that website you are extracting some data, that data is present at some server in some database, right? So you should not tell your website, okay, now run a program which will connect to website with the server, right? That connection should happen automatically, right? That connection should happen automatically. Suppose here this is the website, I am the person who is trying to access this website. So whenever I am hitting the website, that means the connection should happen automatically, right? At the time you should not tell here like this alpha dot underscore underscore init now connect with the website. No, it should happen automatically at the time we are using this kind of a constructors, right? And some other features, other places you can also use the constructor, depends upon your requirement. Okay, fine till here, right? Getting this point? Now if I will create one more class, let's say I'm saying beta. object I am creating, beta, belongs to the test class. Now again, if I will run it, again you will get the my name, right? That means two objects you created, and the two outputs you will get. So whenever you are creating the object, at the time this constructor will be executed automatically, right? Now if I will say def abc, and here I will say print abc, right? Now if I will run it, you will not get the output as abc. Why? Because you are not accessing this thing here. Now to access it, let's say I will say beta, alpha can also access it. I can say beta abc. Now if I will run it, now you'll get the output as abc, right? Now as I told you, when you are creating a ls equal to list. Now if I am doing ls dot, so these are the options coming here, means these methods have been written inside this list class, right? Like we are getting the options here. If I am doing beta dot, these are the options that are we are having here, abc and underscore init, right? These are the two methods that are present here. Getting this point? Now let's do one thing. Suppose now we have to understand about the arguments, right? Suppose here if I am saying a, just a I am saying, right? A I am saying. Now if I will run it, it is throwing an error saying that test underscore init missing one required position argument, that's a. Means whenever you try to create the object of a class, this will be automatically called, right? This will be automatically called. I told you the first argument here, it's not necessary to keep the self here. You can keep any name here, but the working of that first argument that you will keep here, it is acting as a pointer, means it is making the relationship in the test class, right? It is gone. Now second argument, it is saying a, you have to pass the parameter a. That means we have to pass one argument from here. Now I will pass the argument 23. It will work, but it will throw an error. Why? Because you are creating one more beta here, right? And here I will say 34. Now it will not throw an error, right? It will give you the my name, right? Now if I will talk about the list, right? If I'm saying ls equal to, okay, I'm saying listo equal to list list bracket, and here I'm saying 45 60 456, right? Oh, into where it is saying object has now if I run it, I guess I will not get the error. Okay, now if I print print listo, I should get the output as one list, right? I am getting the output as a list. Getting this point? That means here you can pass something. Sometimes you are not passing anything, you are passing something. This is different object, right? All those objects may have this object will have the same operation because it belongs to the same class. This list will also have the same operation because also belongs to the list class. Here sometimes we are passing something, here sometimes we are not passing something, right? This is also possible. If I will create a listo like this, I'm saying list equal to like this. Again, we are creating the object of a class. Here we are not passing anything. List 2, I will say equal to something 45 78, like this. Sometimes we are passing the nothing. Sometimes we are passing the 3 elements. Sometimes we are passing the 4 5 elements. Control V. Let's say I'm saying 4 comma 3 comma 2, right? Here we pass nothing, here we pass 2 things, here we pass 5 things, right? So you are not like sure how many parameters you should have here, right? You are not sure about how many parameters we should have here. At the time we are having one savior. That savior is called the args, right? That savior is called the args, right? I will keep here args, right? That means this thing can be handled here. Suppose here I am saying 23 of this test class. Now I will say 34. See, if I will say here a, understand this here. I'm saying A here. Now I am passing the two things, comma 334. Now it will throw an error. It will throw an error saying that two positional arguments are required but three are given. कहाँ पे? In line number 15. This is my line number 15. Right? In line number 15, you are passing three were given but two are required. Right? It's saying 1 and 2 are required. You have given me 3 because by default the self is coming and A it is going here, B is the extra. It will throw errors, right? Here it is working fine, but here at the line number 5 it is throwing an error, right? To handle these certain conditions, I have to use the args here. I will say args, right? Now let me run it. It will not throw an error. Getting this point? This error has been resolved now here. Getting this thing? Okay, this is also clear. Now you understood how to take the arguments here. Getting this point? Okay. Now we will create our own list. We will create our own list. Okay, one more thing here. When you are doing list list 2 dot count, right? Okay, let me show you one more thing.